Now, I know there are a lot of videos out there that talk about different ways to lose weight and a lot of contradictory information, and I'm not a nutritionist, of course. I'm a musician. So what I'm going to do today is just share with you what worked for me. And of course, please be sure to stick around to the end because I want to tell you how it affected my life, especially as a musician. So for me, the guiding principle that helped me lose over 40 pounds, I think it actually was about 45 pounds, were three things that I think about, and they are answering three questions, and that is what, when, and how much. What, when, and how much. So let me deal with what first. So what means, what do I eat? Now the funny thing is I'm a vegan and I was still fat, so that's good news for those of you who think vegans are all undernourished. No, you can get fat as a vegan. I weighed about 205 pounds I'm 6 feet tall, but I lost 45 pounds. I reduced the amount of sugars, I reduced the amount of starches like white rice, and you notice I say reduce, okay? I didn't cut it out. One thread that goes to this whole thing is the idea that you have to be kind to yourself. One day a week, you can eat whatever you want. Don't go crazy, but have what you like to eat. And in addition to reducing things that are bad for you, right, I made sure that I had more of a balance of the things that were good for me. See, even as a vegan, you can eat a lot of fried foods, right? Now, did I cut out fried foods completely? No. But I reduced the amount of fried foods, or I used an air fryer, which uses less oil, so it still tastes great. The other thing about the what piece is to don't drink your calories. If you drink a regular cola, it could be like 200 calories. You could get a coffee with soy milk and sugar and you think it's not much, but it's a lot of calories. So what you take in is really important, and it really helped me to just know. I'm not even calorie counting at that point. I'm just being conscious of what it is that I'm actually eating. The next question is the how much question. So this is a little tricky because at first I just thought it was portion sizes, and that is a good thing. Eat slower, don't eat so much. If you eat slower, you give your stomach a chance to feel full. So that is part of the how much. But there are also other areas too. Snacking without even realizing it, just grabbing a handful of chips or a handful of nuts or something like that, those calories add up. Now I want to say one thing, for me anyway, I didn't really count calories. I find counting calories is really difficult, especially if you're eating whole foods. I mean, you're making a meal and it's hard to know how many calories are there. So I did it more visually. Do I have more of the healthy stuff and less of the fried stuff, less of the sugar? Cutting out those snacks helps a lot as well. And the third thing I mentioned was when. And I know this is a bit controversial and it doesn't work for everyone, but I do intermittent fasting. I just saw a joke the other day, which is kind of funny, which is people are skipping breakfast and giving it a fancy name and calling it intermittent fasting. I thought that was funny. But the truth about it is intermittent fasting isn't just what you know of it, which is only eating within a certain time period. For example, I don't eat my breakfast till 11 a.m. I still eat 3 meals a day, but I don't eat my breakfast till 11 a.m. And then I have lunch whenever I want, and I finish my dinner by 7 p.m., sometimes a little later, sometimes a little earlier. But that's the eating time. But it isn't just that. It isn't just that you're eating within that time period and giving your stomach a rest and giving your body a chance to burn calories, right? That's the concept, the basic concept behind intermittent fasting. It's more than that. It's also that you're not snacking in between. So your stomach has a chance to rest and you give your body a chance to burn some calories even between meals. So I think that's a piece that a lot of people miss when they do intermittent fasting and aren't successful with it. And again, I understand intermittent fasting doesn't work for a lot of people. Some people are very hungry in the morning or get really hungry at night and they just can't stand it. So if that's you, that's fine. You maybe want to do more calorie counting or something like that. But for me, for me anyway, I don't wake up hungry. I really just don't. Even if I get up at 6 a.m., I don't start to feel hungry until about 11 a.m. So I take advantage of that. And the additional benefit of that is if you have lunch at 1:30 p.m., you're really not that hungry because you just ate breakfast. So without even thinking about it, you're reducing the amount of calorie intake. So there's this, I guess you'll see online, there's this sort of controversy. Is it calories in, calories out, or is it intermittent fasting? And I sort of feel like, well, it kind of is both. At least it was for me, because if I'm only eating within an 8-hour period, I'm having fewer calories because of the reasons I just mentioned. Now, aside from those three things, what, how much, and when, I want to talk really quickly about the exercise piece. What I learned really quickly is, unless you're a professional athlete, you cannot out-exercise a diet. You say, okay, I'll go, I like to walk, so I'll walk for an hour, and I burn about 280 calories. Well, that's nothing. That's like 2 cookies and it's done, or a cola. So you can easily eat or drink away whatever work you've done when you exercise. That's not to say you shouldn't exercise. Exercising is good, but you do that for your health. You don't do it for weight loss, at least in my case. And then some people say, well, all right, then I'll do running. Well, then if you run for half an hour, you burn the same amount as if you walk for an hour. So you're not burning more calories. Now, yeah, again, if you can run 2 or 3 hours, yeah, you'll burn a lot of calories, but most of us aren't doing that sort of exercise. So exercise is great for your health. I strongly recommend you do it. You just feel good. I'm sitting out in the sun today. Walking in the sun makes me just feel happy. But you're not going to be able to out-exercise your diet. And the last piece, since I'm a musician, I wanted to talk about how it's affected my life as a performing artist and a teacher. And I'm sure this will be true for many people in many different fields, but just personally, as a performing artist, we have to practice a lot. And when we give a concert, it's usually 70, 80, 90 minutes of music, and we put a lot into it. And as I slowly gained weight over the years, I noticed I was getting tired. I didn't have the stamina and focus that I used to have when performing, or in fact, even when teaching. And I thought that's just a product of getting older. I guess, sure, some of it is, but let me tell you, once I lost all this weight, I have a lot more energy, and I just feel happier too. And also, a lot of us musicians, we tend to have back and shoulder issues from sitting a long time, and I'm sure people who sit in front of a computer all day, they have that as well. For me anyway, I had a lot of fat in the front, and that created an uneven balance on my spine, pulling from the front with less support on the back. In addition to the exercises, I also do planking and things like that to strengthen myself. Losing the weight from the front helped balance that out, so that helped my back as well. So not only did losing weight help my stamina, help my energy, and not only did it help me just feel happier in general, not only all that, but also it helped my back because I wasn't having this pull. So that's been my history of losing 40 over 40. And it's harder when you're over 40, but you can definitely do it. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. So I know this has been a bit of a different video, but I hope it was helpful to you. And especially if you're a musician or a music lover, I hope you will check out my other videos, like and subscribe. I've got a variety of videos on classical music and jazz, both from the performing and listening aspect. And I hope to see you soon on the next one. Bye-bye.